What's up, nerds and nerdettes and we little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G from Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming and my friends. I am back! Yeah, it's been a slow few days here. Sorry about that, everyone. We had some disruptions at Casa de Big G, and that really put a cramp on everything that was happening this weekend. Personal stuff, I'm not going to get into it here, but I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to do a drop on Friday night or Saturday or Sunday, but Midday Monologue, here I am, lunchtime, coming out during my job and relaxing and shooting off this Midday Monologue for you. And the subject today that's been on my mind lately, Grail Games. Grail Games, as in the Holy Grail, as in a quest for something of magnificence, something you believe that you need, that you want. Your desire is so strong, my friends. Yes. And there are definitely some games that I consider Grail games, games that I have been looking for. And I got three of them right here to tell you about. I want to tell you about. One of them I've mentioned before, actually a few monologues back. This game actually came up, and it's always on my mind to one degree or another, and after I brought it up, I've been thinking about it a lot more. So why don't we get right to this, and let's just discuss Grail Games. I got Grail Games. If you collect board games, I guarantee you got some Grail-style games also that you've just been dying to add to your collection. Well, you got some games, put them down in the comment. I want to know what games you've been looking to add to your collection, the games that are exciting you, that have excited you for a while, that you have not, for whatever reason, been able to get onto your shelves. All right, now for me, out of the first three that I'm mentioning here today, it's a game I used to have. It's a game I used to have, me and my friends used to love. We played this game non-stop. We would play this game all day. And the game only lasts about an hour, hour and a half, but we would play game after game after game. We could not stop playing. Until the apartment fire destroyed everything I owned several years ago. I haven't been able to get the game back. And that game, it's a game by Milton Bradley that came out all the way back in the dark ages of 1981. And that game has nothing to do with the book, has nothing to do with the movie. That game is called Dark Tower. Dark Tower. When this game came out with its, well, tower right in the middle of the board, an electronic tower that kept track of everything for you. Kept track of your combat, kept track of your troops, kept track of your food. Yeah, your food. You got to keep your troops supplied with food or they'll start dying off. Kept track of dragon attacks, kept track of diseases that would kill off your soldiers as you're walking across the land trying to find the three keys that you need. The brass, silver, and gold key to get into that tower, fight your way through, and defeat the brigands that have taken over. Oh, man. This game, we did. I'm going to say we could play this. Well, we played this game all day. Now, strategy-wise, I got to say, there's none. There's really no strategy in Dark Tower whatsoever. You get to move one space at a time. And when you move, you get to investigate that land, or the bazaar to go buy things, or the temple to go heal, the crypt to go explore. The crypt always seemed like it had a better chance for danger, and therefore a better chance to find one of the keys. And there's one key in each realm, no key in your realm. There's 4 realms. Well, there's a key in your realm, but not for you to get. Other players can get a key in your realm. Don't overthink that. Don't overthink that. But there's no real strategy because you don't know what the game's throwing at you. You know, the only real strategy is just buying soldiers and food. Trust me, in that game, that is like really the only strategy you want. And in order to magnify that, to maximize that, I should say, you're going to want things like a beast of burden to carry extra food on, because you can only have so much food. And if you have too much food and too little food and too many soldiers, you ain't going to have a lot of soldiers left. When you get a beast of burden, he can carry all that for you. He can carry extra gold for you, too. It weighs you down. Carrying capacity, my friends. carrying capacity. That will kill you in every game. You need to mitigate it. You need to manage it somehow. And this game gave ways to do it. But other than that, there's no strategy. You know, you could run away or not run away from a fight. Maybe you want to consider that a strategy. But the game is addictive. My goodness, it was so addictive. Could not stop playing it. Wish I had it back in my collection. And it is counted as my probably #1 Grail game of all Grail games that I'm looking to put back on my shelves. Milton Bradley, 1981. That was a good year. All right, so there's 2 other games I want to mention fairly quickly, and both of them are more modern games. This next game came out in 2015, and I haven't been able to get a copy of it. I've been able to find it for under, I've seen it a few places about $100. Usually it's going for like closer to $200, and that's just, I can't justify spending that much money. Sorry, I can't. Not on a board game. No matter how much I love board games, I can't justify $200 or more on one. And that game I'm talking about that I've been looking at for a few years now, woo! It's a little loud out here. It's New York City. That game that I've been looking for, Carson City, big box. Carson City was a game that came out a few years before the big box version. It had had at least one expansion. Was it Golden Guns that came out for it already? This is a sandbox style open world game set in the Old West, the old Carson City 1800s. In order to win the game, within the 4 rounds that you're going to be playing the game, you're going to have to set things up. You're going to have to go out and get land and all these things that you would have to do in the Old West. And if you and another player are both trying to do the same thing, woo! We're talking shootout, partner. Hey, I'll be your Huckleberry. And now I backed, and in a couple of months, as long as nothing delays the Kickstarter for the backers, I did back Western Legends, which looks fantastic. It's a sandbox Western game, and that's what I've been looking for. So I like the Western games. I like the feel of the Old West. I love the genre of it, both the seedy, gritty realness of it, as well as the Hollywoodized version. I love both the versions of the Old West, and I don't think there's a lot of really good Western board games out there. Kind of really grab me. I have a few on my shelf that aren't too bad, but I've been on this quest for the best, the greatest, the most in-depth game on the Wild West. And until you know, I'd recently come across Western Legends and back that, Carson City. Carson City was the game I was trying to get to fill that. And even though I'm getting Western Legends, I still want to get Carson City. It's still up there with my Grail Games. Gotta get that. So a game just looks so much fun. Like I said, if you're a fan of the Old West, like myself, then it's something you're definitely going to be interested in. And I am watching this ant that has crawled up on my camera. I wonder if he's going to get in front of the lens. Oh, almost. He almost got in front of the lens there. Anyway, I got distracted there by an ant. Adam Ant. Who remembers that cartoon? Up and Adam Ant. Anyway, I'm totally showing my age and getting off topic here because of this stupid little ant. All right. Now, there's... So I'm going to get that game regardless. Some point or another, it's on my Grail list of games I want to get. Even though I'm going to be, in a couple of months, having a great sandbox Western game, I still got to get Carson City Big Box. It's going to make me feel a lot better. And now the third game real quick. Did I just do this? Third game? So the third game, and the last one for this quick little list I'm shooting out for Midday Monologue Monday, is a new game. It just actually came out last year. Game came out last year and it's already on my Grail list. Why is that? Why did a game that just came out up until a few months ago, why is that on my Grail list of difficult games I gotta find and get? Because I can't find anything about this game here in America. Apparently it's a little bit easier to get over in Europe, and that's kind of, no, it's not kind of, it's definitely 100% irking me. I'm getting quite annoyed at that. And that game is a game that I've really been wanting because the genre, as I shelve my games by genre, as some of you know that have been watching regularly, I do shelve my games by genre. And one of the genre shelves that I've been desperately trying to find better games for us. I have some good games. I have one great game for it. Actually, now there might be 2 great games. So I just got a game that's quickly getting up the ladder there. But anyway, I want more games in this genre. That genre is superheroes. I don't think there's very many great superhero games out there. And, you know, the two of the biggest I can't stand. I can't stand Legacy, Marvel Legacy. I can't stand that. Every time I watch a playthrough of it, it does nothing to grab me whatsoever. I don't understand why I would spend money on it, you know? And the other is Dice Master. The reason I'm not going anywhere near Dice Master is because that's a collectible dice game. Same as a collectible card game. I fell down that rabbit hole with Magic. I fell down that rabbit hole with the Werewolf Apocalypse, a collectible card game. I fell down that rabbit hole with Star Trek The Next Generation collectible card game. And there's a couple of others along in between also. And I'm done. I'm done chasing down, trying to get the rare and powerful cards to be able to compete with my friends who get it. I'm done. I'm not doing that. Over. Game over. And Dice Masters is the same thing, but instead of chasing down rare cards, you're trying to chase down a rare die. I'm not doing that. I don't mind spending money on expansions for games, but chasing down these cards and dice that may or may not be in an expansion, I'm done with. So I finally found another game. So as you probably know, my number one superhero game of all time is Sentinels of the Multiverse. And the one I mentioned that's quickly also becoming, in my opinion, considered a great game. The more games I have under my belt is Thanos Rising, Avengers Infinity War. But there's another one I've been looking for. Like I said, it only came out last year and I can't find it. In fact, last week I even emailed the company, the publishing company, and they got right back in touch with me. You know, hello, how can we help you? And I told them who I am, what I do, my desire to review their game, to get more attention here to American audiences, and nothing. I haven't heard back yet. I'm not saying I didn't hear back. I'm just saying I haven't heard back yet. Okay, but I'm just saying this, bringing this up to show you the difficulty and why a game that just came out is already on my Grail list. And that game, Justice League, Dawn of Heroes by ABBA Games. Like 2 years ago, they dropped the information on this game coming out, and it took the gaming world by storm. Everyone went bonkers over hearing this and reading about how the game plays. And that's one of the things that excites, not just that it looks like a good superhero game, not just that it looks like a good DC superhero game, but the simple fact that this seems so amazingly different how it handles things. Not 100% different. Different-ish. No, that's not strong enough. Different is too strong. Different-ish is not strong enough. Okay, let me give you an example. What I'm talking about is, like in most of these games with superheroes, you're dealing with decks of cards or you're dealing with rolling dice, right? That's how you're manipulating their powers. This game, each of the heroes is being worked a different way. Like I was reading about this, and Batman, in order to simulate his utility belt, uses a deck of cards. So you can be managing your hand as Batman to manage what you're doing as far as your tricks, your gadgets, and I imagine your martial arts as well. Now, on the other hand, if you're playing Superman, Kal-El doesn't use a deck of cards. He uses dice to simulate his powers. And again, if you're playing the Flash, he's not using dice or cards. He doesn't have either. He has action points he's able to use. Wow! Every hero is different. I mean, talk about the thematic feel. It's not like everyone is just choosing from a deck of cards and throwing it down. Every hero is represented differently as far as how their powers work, how you use their powers. I mean, this is just like, wow, to me, this is an overused phrase, but you know what? This is mind-blowing to me. It definitely is. And that's why it's been a Grail game. Here in America, nobody can find the game. There's a game that's got in the hands of a few of the, really big, top-notch reviewers, and that's it. The game is like so hard to get here in America, which is why it's become a Grail game of mine, even though it just came out. A game that just came out shouldn't be a Grail game as far as I'm concerned. A game that just came out should be a game easy enough for you to find, and therefore you're not going on this Don Quixote-like quest. Anyway, so the 3 Grail games that I've been hunting down and it would be gold, it would be platinum, it would be diamond, it would be plutonium, it'd be perfectly beautiful and make me feel a little bit more at ease if I could re-get one and get these other 2 for my collection. That's why they're Grail games. So once again, Milton Bradley, Dark Tower, love to get the original one of that. In fact, even if they remade it, I would still want the original, because I have a funny feeling if they remade the game, no matter how much I would love to see it remade, something's going to change on it, and it's going to screw the game up, and it's not going to be as lovely and entertaining and addictive as the original one was. But Dark Tower, the original Dark Tower, Milton Bradley, 1981, is my number 1 of all-time Grail games that I've got to get my number 1, definitely. And the number 2 there, Carson City, big box, sandbox style, Wild West game. Oh yeah, That's fun, man. Yeah, the Wild West. You can call it the Old West, but Wild West sounds so much more fun to say. And then finally, the Justice League Dawn of Heroes by ABBA Games. Yeah, so those are my 3 top Grail games that I've been looking for to get back in my collection, have on my shelves, and be able to put down on the table when I want to. So those are mine. And like I said, every serious gamer and board game collector has their Grail games. What are yours? What are the games? What are the board games, the dice game, the card games that you've been looking to add to your collection? I'd really like to know what they are. So why don't you put that comment right down there? All right, everyone. So Midday Monologue Monday. There you go. I'm your buddy Big John the G from Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming, and my friends, we are on Twitter. We are on Instagram, sort of. I don't know. I just love saying it like that. And of course, right here on YouTube. Thank you everyone for liking us. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for subscribing. Hit that subscribe button if you like me, the show, anything we talk about. That's the best way to show us love, to show us that you like us. Hit that subscribe button. So, my friends, I am out of here.